can you pretend you're me for a second?
Okay, I'll close my eyes and pretend I'm you. Go.
You're driving to work. You're tired.
Exhausted.
And you're like, I need to listen to this audiobook for a podcast I do with my best friend called the Book Fix Podcast. Go listen to it. You are. Okay,
welcome. You're here already.
And you just hear the voice of a British woman come up.
Go ahead, please.
And you know, I'm like, I'm going to get into this. October 5th, 1666, Slewfoot did take the lives of 112 good folk of Sutton Village. Now imagine hearing that 300 times.
300 times. Whoa. You did not replay this, dude. That is so fucking funny. The last book, Graveyard Shift, that we go listen to it. Go listen to it, please. We just filmed it. I had to replay a certain part over and over. It was so irritating because obviously I would remember words, but not the full sentence. So I was like, damn, I already know that shit.
Yep. That was me with this. So I would go home and my brother or my sister would ask, like, how was your drive? And I was like, Slewfoot killed 122 innocents in October of 1666. How do you think my drive was?
So it was good.
That's the only... No, it's funny because I didn't listen past that. Because then it would get to the end of the sentence. And then it'd get to the next chapter. And I thought someone was talking to someone. And it was like, I'm not here. I'm dead. Don't talk to me. Wait, blood? And then
what is that? I smell blood.
And then it would start talking about some dude named Samson. And I was just like, okay, wait, hold on. I have to go back to the beginning. Of October 1666, Slewfoot slaughtered 122 innocents. Dude.
So that's all we're going to be talking about today.
Just the first three pages.
The first line.
So I think to just add to that, sometimes audiobooks don't...
Oh my God, that scared me.
Dude, it's fucking Slewfoot. Sometimes audiobooks don't hit for me because I thought I was going to hate the shit or hate this shit with my entire being. And then I read the first 2-3 pages and I was like, oh, I get
You were
it.
like, he slaughtered.
He Slewfoot
slayed.
Wait, he slaughtered 122 innocents. You should have just said that from the beginning.
Why didn't you say it like that? Fuck. Well, we've talked about this before. Some audiobooks don't hit.
No, they don't.
And it makes it feel more like a chore.
But it's so funny because I finished this book yesterday.
You started this a long time ago.
Yeah.
I feel like I read this so long ago.
Okay, dude, I have so much to say about this one. Fresh in the brain.
I
will say
Thank
though,
God.
I got sick over the weekend and I was, first of all, fever, NyQuil in my body.
Yes.
Trying to stay awake, afraid of the Slewfoot. So I have a lot of fear going into this one.
Okay.
But do you think
God.
fear and 122 innocents being slaughtered.
Oh my God.
Do you think recounting the story of Slewfoot can fix your life?
I think so. Yeah. Why not?
Welcome to the Book Fix Podcast, a podcast where we fix lives one book at a time. I'm your host, Cheli.
And I'm your host, Yajaira. And basically this story is, the witch trials?
Mm-hmm.
It's basically that. We're visiting that historical fantasy fiction.
So we are reading and talking about the Slewfoot, A Tale of Bewitchery by Brom.
Mm-hmm.
Did you read this off of Kindle?
Yes, I did.
Okay. There's pictures in this that are disturbing. I really only want to include 2 pictures. Because one of them made me laugh and the other one made me cry.
And the other one didn't let me sleep.
So this story follows our main character, Abitha.
Mm-hmm.
She was raised by, according to her dad, a very pious family, which is like very religious, very well off. Mm-hmm. But in Abitha's mind, she's like, no, the fuck I wasn't. First of all, when my mom died, my dad became a drunk and he didn't talk about the Lord. And for someone who says we're very pious, there was a lot of swearing in my house.
Yeah.
So.
And also her mom was very, very spiritual. She was really big on like herbs.
Well,
and
she was pagan?
Yeah.
Is that the word?
So she was big on herbs and I don't know, like little, ¿cómo se llaman? Like little tokens?
Yeah.
Like little things that would like protect you. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I don't know exactly what the word is, but
yeah, but very like witch vibes,
mm-hmm.
which you shouldn't be practicing if you come from a good Christian family.
Yeah.
So this is during the time of the Puritans.
Mm-hmm.
So
and this story takes place in Connecticut.
Okay.
Like you said, 1666.
Yes, of October. Well, actually, we're back in March of 1666 with Abitha, who, because her dad was losing money, he sold her off to get married, and it was to this dude named Edward. And
Edward was kind of chill.
Well, when they described him at first, it was like, oh, it looks like a guy who would never get married. He's like hunchbacked. He just sin chiste type man, like without, I don't know how to.
Sin chiste is like no without jokes, but it would be without a point, I guess.
Yeah, like it didn't.
There's no point.
There's no point in this man.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of her impression of him at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's living this life, and so she's living with this man in this farm that Edward inherited from the dad.
Yes.
And this farm is actually owned by the brother Wallace. Well, but Wallace is kind of that bitch who's like, oh, this is the ugly farm. You take it.
Yeah.
And Edward can't say no to his brother, so he did take it. But throughout the years that he's lived with Abitha, this farm has kind of become something. Mm-hmm. Like they've
really grown
mm-hmm.
the crops together.
When this story starts, Abitha's looking for Samson, which is her goat,
mm-hmm.
and she feels really bad because she's like, fuck, Edward is going to be mad. Or he's not going to be mad. He's going to be disappointed in me because we were really hoping on this goat to get, babies. Like, we needed this goat. And now I lost him. Mm-hmm. So she's going into the forest looking for this goat, Samson. But when she gets deep into the forest, she finds a pit. And she's like, fuck, Samson fell in. And then hears voices.
But she didn't actually see Samson, right?
No, she didn't.
That was the part that I was so confused because she described this pit as being like pitch black. Mm-mm. And she was like, damn, my goat is in there. I just know he's in there.
Yeah.
But I was like, how do you know he's in there?
But she doesn't go check because then she starts hearing voices like, jump in.
Do it, bitch.
Jump in the hole.
Do it.
Jump in the hole. Come on. Fuck?
We all float here, bitch.
So she runs away. Well, she screams, and then she turns around and she sees her husband, mm-hmm. Edward. And he's like, Abitha, my beautiful, gorgeous, beautiful wife. I can't look at you. What are you doing here?
It was so funny to me how Edward was so like timid. Like he didn't really want to lust over. Oh my God. I can't fucking imagine living in this timeline where he can't even like look at her lustfully.
I love my wife.
If he doesn't grab me like I'm his, then why am I here?
It's funny too because he's a really nice guy. I thought we were supposed to hate him.
Oh yeah, me too.
So anytime Edward would speak, I would just be kind of like,
Edward! Shut up. Dude, I was shipping them so hard.
Dude, I was too. So Abitha says like, you're going to be mad at me. I lost the goat. And then Edward's like, of course he's upset because he sees how much this would mean to them financially. Mm-hmm. But he's like, I don't care about the goat. I just care about you.
I just care about you and your safety.
Amen. Sorry, I had a thought. You don't need to know. You don't need to know about it, my beautiful wife.
This is between me and God, not you.
It wasn't about you or anything. I just wouldn't dare. What are you talking about?
So then they end up going back home because he tells her that his brother Wallace is waiting on them, and so they can talk.
When they go
business.
in, literally, it's been like a really bad season for crops, and fucking Wallace is like, can I just have everything you guys have? Like, I'm hungry.
Dude, he was already eating the food.
Yeah.
And Abitha was pissed because I think they only had like two eggs.
Yeah.
And he was eating one of them, and she was like, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. Bitch, we didn't have food.
Yep. And it sucks because Edward doesn't know how to say no to his brother. So Abitha's over here like saying shit. And then Wallace is like,
well, she's not really saying it yet. She's just kind of looking at him like with attitude.
But even then, Wallace is like, can you make your wife look away? Like, she's really acting like she matters. So please put her in her place. And Edward's like, Abitha, Abby, look at me,
babe.
Don't look at me. Sorry.
Don't look at me because then I'm gonna lust over you.
What? Nothing. I didn't say girls are stupid. So he's like, Abby, please just be civil for like once right now. I love you and support you, my wife, but please don't. Because
this is at a time when the cultural norm, religious norm, whatever the fuck, is for the women to be seen, not heard. Yes. And so when the brothers start talking business, she's obviously like making faces because the brother's trying to fuck over Edward. She starts saying like, no, you can't do that. You shouldn't do that. And Wallace is like, can you shut up your wife? Why is she even speaking right now? Why is she speaking?
It would have been funny if this was the moment where Edward like slams his head. First of all, that's my beautiful wife. You get your stupid eyes off of her. Sorry. Amen. But I had a thought.
It seemed so easy to just get another man's wife in trouble though. Because Wallace was like, I could have her whipped, for talking back. Don't make me do that. Edward, don't make me do that.
Really have my hands tied
shut
here, bro.
Her up. Dude, oh my God. Fucking.
Dude, I know. Wallace fucking sucked.
I was so mad.
So Wallace, his whole thing is there's a second farm. The better farm.
His farm.
Yeah. That the dad originally owned. That's the first farm. And he was over here like, Dad died. Rest in peace, my beautiful dad. I'm going to grow tobacco here. Because in Virginia, tobacco slays. But then everyone in the town was like, we're in Connecticut, man. Tobacco doesn't grow here. Our soil isn't meant for tobacco.
Yeah.
But he's like, no, that's what poor people say.
But wasn't this an arrangement that they already had, though? Because it wasn't successful. And whatever loan Wallace took out with whoever, he wasn't fulfilling it because the tobacco wasn't growing.
Yes.
And so Wallace informed Edward, oh, by the way, I did give them the deed to your farm.
Because technically it's mine.
Because technically you're paying me for this farm. So, I mean.
And that's when Abitha brings up, like, we have one more payment. It's almost ours. And then he's like, ours? No, you mean my brother's. And it's
not
technically
yours.
Mine.
Yeah.
And so there's just like, even Edward is kind of like, you can't do that.
No, but Edward had no backbone. This section, he had no backbone. He was kind of just like, well, I mean, it is yours, I guess.
I know, but you could tell that he wanted to.
But he didn't.
Dude, the monster in there was clawing its way out. But he couldn't reach. He couldn't reach. So close. So Wallace is like, you know what? It's too heated in here, too crazy, too wild. Bro, I'm just going to let you sit on this. Why don't we ask the Reverend tomorrow together as brothers?
Yeah.
And your stupid wife.
And get his thoughts. But control your fucking wife.
And so then
he was going to have her whipped, though, because she spoke up.
And Edward made Abitha apologize.
Oh, God.
And it sucked because she wanted to tell him off, but then she looked at Edward and it made her cry because she was like, I know he's looking out for me. So, okay, I'm sorry, Wallace, for you being a little bitch. You couldn't handle me. Whatever. And then Wallace leaves. And Edward is just such a sweet husband. Because he's like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You know, I didn't mean that. I really didn't want you to get hurt. Because I love you. He starts crying.
Dude.
I never stop loving you, bitch.
I thought they were so cute together. I love that scene. Can I just say the scene? I know it's not in order, but who cares? We'll get to the plot.
Are you talking about
the spicy? So
dude,
he was really into art. So he would draw me like one of your French girls. Is it that French girls?
Yes.
Titanic, if you've never seen it. Anyway, so he would draw her in books. And she was like very sexual and sexy. Well, there
was only one, because I do want to mention our main character Abitha has very curly hair, and because this is Puritan times, women usually cut off all their hair and just put it in a bonnet because you're not supposed to tempt men. But she never cut it off because her husband really likes her hair. And although she has been with her husband for a long time, he's never shown any sexual advances because, you know, they're Christian, and also he's very awkward. He doesn't know how to handle social situations. But she doesn't hate him. She just wants to feel like,
desired.
Yeah. So they were looking through his sketchbook. Well, first of all, she was reading him to sleep. And that's a huge thing because women aren't supposed to be, like, you're only supposed to read the Bible and women aren't supposed to read. So it's a huge thing for him to even allow this. And while she's reading, he takes out his sketchbook and she's like, oh my God, let me see. And most of his sketches are of her. And the most recent one is of her laying down and just like her boobs. It's weird because the rest of it's stick figure, but my tits.
Very 3D.
Very 3D. They pop right. Yeah, it's actually a pop. But she's just kind of like, is that how you see me? I don't know. I don't look at you like that. I don't know.
I try not to look at you, but when I do, boobs.
But then she's just kind of like unzips her nightgown, kind of goes down. She's like, is this what you see? And he's just like, oh my.
He's like, stop, the Lord is watching.
I know.
Dress up,
Dear
girl.
God. I'm not the one doing this. I'm not the one sitting. And she's like, I'm your wife.
I'm your wife. It's okay if
Here,
we
go
rest
ahead.
a little bit.
Go ahead and draw me. And he, at first, is just kind of like, one eye open. I'm trying not to look at you. Amen. Amen. No thoughts up here. And then he gets really into it. Fucking 4 pencils in between all the little, in between all his fingers. He's fucking, sorry. He's fucking, who's a famous artist? Picassoing this shit. Actually, no, that doesn't work. But he's making this shit as detailed as possible. And then she puts the book down and she's like, I'm not really in the mood for reading anymore.
He's like, bitch, me neither. Dude, I love them. They're so cute.
And they have their moment.
Yeah.
Was that their first time? I feel like it was.
Their only time, you mean, in the book?
Yeah, but they had been married for a while, hadn't they?
No,
Enough
I think
for
they
them
have
to fix the farm.
I think they have had fun together.
I don't think so.
What? You have to consummate the marriage at this time.
Yeah, but
in this era.
No, but then they would have had kids.
I thought they just couldn't have kids. Isn't that why they got the goat?
Oh, maybe, actually. To fill the void. No. So the next day, glowing, both of them, they're going to church. And they had like a whole talk. And she was like, babe, I love you. You got to tell your brother off. He's using you. So you got to say this, this, and this. And
she really prepped him.
The next day they go to church. And first of all, there's a man outside the church and he's just covered in manure and mud.
Yeah.
And all the people are like, he didn't go to Sunday church because he slept in. So he's supposed to sit out here for 4 days. And the people are throwing mud at him, all these godly people, but they look like a mob.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
They're Puritans. There's nothing pure about this shit.
Well, that's how it goes.
I fucking hate this shit.
Yeah,
It
was very, very annoying, honestly.
It's until the Reverend comes out like, hey, you all aren't in church? Go to fucking church. Abitha.
Hey,
girl. Hey, queen. You have a curl?
Wasn't it the wife?
Was it?
The Reverend's wife? She went up to Abitha and was like, hey, your curl is sticking out of your bonnet. You don't want to tempt these men. And why is your hair so long?
Weird. And that's when
she's like, but my husband loves my long hair.
My husband kind of likes it. So
he pulls on it.
Wait, what?
Sorry.
So, whatever. They go to church, and this is just kind of the life they're living. The whole conversation with Wallace, Edward, and the Reverend. I love this shit because Edward he was kind of fucking losing it, but he looks at his wife and just like that little connection that they have.
He was losing the battle until he made eye contact with Abitha.
And then he spoke up for himself, and the Reverend was like, you know what? It is kind of unfair that, Wallace, you promised them land, and all of a sudden you're just giving it away, and they're almost done paying it.
They only have 1 month. Yeah.
You can't do that shit. So you use your own land because, as God would say, that's your fucking problem. Bible drop. I'm out, bitch.
Yeah.
So I love this Reverend. He's
so fucking
he was so
nice. Chill.
Well,
with Abitha, he was chill.
So then everything seems okay. But one day, Edward and Abitha are in the forest. I don't remember why.
They're looking for the goat.
You're right.
Because she is so sure that the goat is in this pit.
But she has mentioned it felt kind of demonic, right?
Yeah, but she brought something. Again, like, she's very spiritual, witchcraft border-ish.
A charm, that's what they're called.
Oh, a charm. Thank you. I was calling them tokens, but yeah, it was a little charm that she had, and she wanted to give it to her husband, but Edward was like, stop, Abitha, put that shit away. If anyone saw you with that, they would hang you, girl. Stop it.
Isn't there a part in this point where they hold hands and he's like, we can't do that, that's a sin, if someone saw
I think that was
PDA.
when they went to church, because they were very loving and holding hands, but then they immediately pulled away from each other.
You're right.
I think, I'm pretty sure, because they had to have been around people for that.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, our boy Eddie, bitch, he didn't make it. He fell into the pit.
Yeah.
Or he was pushed, I'm not sure.
And he heard a lot of voices and then just experienced, it said like a deep slumber, but it's just death.
Yeah.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Before we continue? Because poor Edward. Rest in paradise,
R.I.P.
my guy.
I really thought that this was going to be a love story, but
I
whatever.
just loved his wife, dude. Oh. When I was reading this story, my sister was just like, okay, good luck reading, you got this. And I was like, thanks. And then I laid down on the couch and I'm on this page and I'm just like, this isn't gonna scare me. This is the one that made me laugh because my sister just heard me go, ah.
Okay, I'll insert the picture here.
Thank you. I'll screenshot it.
Chapter 2, don't forget.
I don't know how to screenshot.
Queen.
Okay. So poor Edward doesn't make it. When Wallace is going to go visit the family to kind of convince his brother to give him his land, he sees Abitha kind of running around with these two men. And she's just kind of like, over here. And Wallace is like, what's going on? They're like, oh, there was a pit and Edward apparently fell in it. And we're going to go help. And he sees how distraught Abitha is. So he's like, okay, I'll go too.
But they don't go in the pit.
No, they get to the pit and then they're like, it's too deep. And Abitha's like, if y'all aren't going, I'm going to go. That's my husband down there. And Wallace is like, look at it. Like, look at the pit. And Abitha just has a moment where she realizes, like, yeah, he didn't.
He didn't make it.
That's
so sad.
Yeah, it is really sad because then the funeral, when it happens, dude, it's like 5 minutes long. Everyone lines up. They put him in. It is done. And then they all leave.
Yeah.
And I think it's really funny because Abitha's like, can I just have one word? And everyone turns to her. He was a good man.
Yeah, her speech was super short.
That's it.
Which I mean, I get it because
what can she
she's
say?
super emotional too.
Yeah. She also can't talk about their passionate love life.
I know. He used to throw me over the table.
And when he would draw me.
And when he would.
90-10-90. Oh my God.
90-10-90. It's like their Coke bottle.
The measurements. But she couldn't say much, but she just felt so defeated with this. She goes home and then she sees the Reverend standing with Wallace, like all the Reverends. And she's like, they couldn't even fucking give me a day, these fucking vultures. And they're just kind of like, Abitha,
your husband's dead.
I don't know if you heard the news. This isn't your land anymore. It actually belongs to Wallace. And, all he wants to do is help you. So if you could just let him help you, maybe move in with him, help him with the cleaning and the cooking. And
be his servant. Oh my God.
Dude, I was kind of scared that he was going to marry her. I thought that's where this was going.
I thought that's what he wanted too, but he was already married.
Yeah, he was. So she's like, I'm not going to become this dude's servant. Okay? I know my rights. This is my husband's land. And if I want to like tend to it myself in honor of my husband, that's what I'm doing. Because you let this other lady do it. So that's what I'm doing. And then the Reverend's like, shit, she's right.
Yeah.
And Wallace is over here trying to get her in trouble. Like, no, she should be whipped for this. And it's like, no.
Like, she's a woman. What does she know about plants, crops?
Yeah.
But I thought it was so funny because he was so hysterical. I thought women were hysterical. Wallace.
Interesting. So she's tending to this herself, and it's tough. And it doesn't really look like it's going to be a good season either because there's no rain.
Yeah, and the reverends were so chill because they allowed her to miss church to tend to the crops because they knew that she only had like a month.
Yeah.
But I think they extended the time though because
did.
of Edward's passing.
So they were giving her almost like 3 months.
Yeah.
Okay, pause. So we have another character whose name we do not know, but we know who he is. It's the name of the book. Come on, it's Slewfoot. So he wakes up and is called father by these like little sprites that are with him. Imps. I don't know what you would call them.
They're the forest spirits.
I don't know if you felt the same, but low key, it kind of felt like Abitha was haunting him.
Yeah,
It felt like the other way around because he didn't know who he was.
Because it kind of felt like she woke him up. And then anytime there was that one scene when she was still going to church and she like ran and he saw her and he was like, he like got so scared by her. Dude, I thought she was haunting him. But
dude, yeah, that was kind of what I was thinking was going to happen, where she was going to become more evil than him. That was what I thought. But he was just over here like, I don't know who I am. I have no memories of myself. But
he does have this craving though.
Yes.
He doesn't know what it is.
So at first he thought it was the craving for blood because they had given him blood and he liked it. But then he was like, but what's the point in death? Like nothing comes out of it. And it isn't until he first interacts with Abitha where he kind of sees that his life can be more than just killing. Because when he meets her, it's at her point where like the corn isn't growing. There is no rain. And he's like...
And she's feeling really desperate too because before she meets him, I believe, Wallace had told her, you need to just go marry my son. You mean the 17-year-old? No. Ew.
Yeah. So...
And I think he hit her too. He was like threatening her.
So she was over here like... She wanted to unalive herself, I think, at this point.
Yeah.
And she was really, really considering it. But then when she met Slewfoot, he was like, I feel like you can help me. If you help me remember who I am, I'll help you with whatever shit you want. You want that man dead over there? That one you really hate? She's like, no, I don't want to kill someone. It's like, then what do you want? Your corn to grow? Then ask for it. Go ahead and ask for it. And
But
so...
you have to really want it.
Yeah. So I forget how this exchange works, but because she really wants something, it kind of triggers a memory of Slewfoot being loved by many. And he was like, oh, this is it. This is what I want. Okay, tell me what you want. And she was like, I want corn. It's like, no, you got to mean it. She's like, I fucking want corn. If the band Corn pops up.
Oh my God.
Yes! No, but she says that. And then he holds her hands and they feel life go through them as it's going into the corn. And like 40 ears of corn grow.
Yeah. Don't they like float up too?
I think so. Kind of romantic.
But she even has the realization of like, oh shit, God, look away. Don't look at this.
Did I just accidentally make a deal with the devil?
Yeah.
Wait, isn't he the one that killed my boy? I was going to say Thomas. My boy Edward? I won't think too much about it.
She didn't think too much about it.
Yeah, so the next day, she's going to church because she has time. She slept. She got to eat that morning.
She looked fresh and clean. And I think she even fixed her dress too.
And it's funny because when Wallace sees her, I fucking hate Wallace, but he gets turned on. And I thought it was really funny because he was like, oh, it's the devil. It's the work of the... And it's like, no, it's because you're a disgusting man. Yeah. That's why.
And he already thought that she dealt with witchcraft though because of just, I guess, her beauty. I don't know.
Yep.
I don't really remember what specifics, but
when they go to her house, no, I think he hears about the corn and then he goes to these people and is like, I can't let her get this money and own that land because then I'm gonna be fucked up, so I need y'all to help me steal a lot of corn. But
he underestimated how much fucking corn was gonna be there because I think they had like their little wheelbarrows.
Yeah.
They arrived and they're like, oh my God, we're not gonna finish.
Start eating it. Go. No, but they take all the corn and he's like, oh, the next day is gonna be so satisfying because we're gonna show up. There's gonna be no corn. And so...
But don't they try to burn it?
I think so. But around that time, Abitha learns that her voice can also like bring things to life. And I thought her and Slewfoot, that point where she was singing, I thought they were gonna kiss.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be very honest with you.
Yeah.
And I don't think I would have liked that because I was so team Edward. Rest in paradise. I was so team Edward.
But I think Edward would have wanted this. No, he wouldn't, because remember, she was seeing Edward's ghost. Dude, I thought that part was so scary because his eyes were like big.
Yeah.
And were they red or white? I can't remember.
I thought they were black. I thought they were holes.
Oh yes. Oh my god. Ew. Gross. But yeah, she would see Edward every time, or a couple of times, that she would see Slewfoot, like right after.
Yeah.
He was trying to warn her.
He was.
But she didn't listen.
Well, she learns that she can sing and like bring things to life, or like make the bugs do work for her. So she gets a lot of bees to make her a lot of honey. So the next day when they're there for the payment, she's like, all my corn was stolen. I wonder from who?
Yeah.
Wallace. But it's okay. I still have the payment in honey, because my beautiful late husband Edward, actually like was a beekeeper, and he tended to them very well. So it was actually really easy to get honey. Here's my payment. And Wallace fucking throws a tantrum. Noah!
I never said honey. I said corn.
I hate women.
Yeah, he was such a little bitch.
Yeah, but even the Reverend was like, shut up.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you got your money. Isn't that what you wanted?
The Reverend was like, you're so obsessed. Like, chill out.
And then he was like, well, the magistrate, the one who I need to give money to, he told me to give you this note. And he gives it to the Reverend, and the Reverend reads it, and he's like, this man twists the words of God in his favor. You think I'm going to listen to this shit? Sorry, God. Throws it away. And Wallace is like, what the fuck? Why doesn't anyone listen to me?
Yeah, but I think it was that night he confronts Abitha and tries to attack her. And she sings, and the bees start fucking going after him.
Yep.
And that's when he's like, witch! I fucking knew it! I knew she was a witch this whole time.
And then it kind of just goes downhill from here.
Yeah.
So Slewfoot, he just wants to know who he is, but he can't take the idea of him being the devil, because he is. And he knows it, but he doesn't want to admit it to himself. So he meets up with this dude named Mamantha.
Yeah.
And this guy's like, I helped you last time. I just put you in a slumber. So just sleep it out. You don't have to wake up. Just sleep. And he's like, you know what? You're right. I'm going to sleep. So Slewfoot goes to sleep.
Dude, I was so stressed. Let me just tell you right here, right now. I was so stressed when fucking Slewfoot was over here napping and my girl was being dragged out of her house.
Yeah. So she is being charged, or is guilty for being a witch.
Well,
they also dragged.
They're going to do a whole.
Yeah.
What's it called? Oh my God. Court? Whatever.
Yeah, a whole case.
Thank you.
But they also dragged the Reverend's wife into it, because there was one point where the magic was used to help the Reverend's daughter, but they didn't know that it was like the work of the devil. They just thought that it was a remedy that Abitha had known.
They thought it was just like a little ointment. Well, the wife knew, that the Reverend didn't know.
Yes. So the wife is being dragged into this as like an accomplice of a witch. And the wife's like, I didn't do anything. And it sucks because she admits to being an accomplice because they like torture it out of her.
But also they tortured it out of her because unfortunately Abitha gave a bunch of charms to other women and was like, here, so that he can fall in love with you. And so now all of these people were like, I didn't know that she was working with the devil. Yeah. And so all of these people were going against her. And the Reverend's wife was the only one who was kind of still on her side because she didn't think of it as witchcraft.
Yep. So at the very, very end, Abitha is hung backwards and they're just kind of waiting for her.
You mean by her legs?
Yeah, by her legs. And they're just kind of waiting for her to die. And it sucks because the people, dude, everyone in this story sucks because everyone's like, or the workers, they're like, how long do we have to stay here until she dies? What if we just kill her?
Yeah.
And it's like, aren't you the men of God? Like, why the fuck are all of you shitty? Even when they had Abitha just like in a cage, people were throwing shit at her. And she kept telling them like, the devil is watching. God is watching.
Yeah.
No one fucking cared. None of these people were godly. The most godly person is Edward, and he's in heaven right now. A place you all are never gonna see.
I would say the Reverend too.
Yeah,
he was so chill.
The Reverend was
so
chill.
bad
and
for him.
I also felt bad for the wife, like that family.
Wife?
Yeah, but anyway,
because Wallace brought in that one guy. What's his name? The magistrate.
The magistrate.
He brought him in, and then don't they like imprison the Reverend?
Yes. Because he hated him. That was the only reason. And it's like, all of you are twisting the word of God. What the fuck? And dude, I remember that first page, the one I read 300 times, like 122 people are about to die. And I'm like, oh, dude. Oh. So some shit is about to go down. You guys don't even know. So it's not until, and I'm going to read the book.
Read
the book. It's not until Slewfoot wakes up and hears that Abitha's in danger and he shows up where shit really goes down. Because that's the first time she asks for someone to die, and it becomes her that kills them. So her legs are no longer.
She transforms into a creature, basically.
Yeah. She has her hooved feet. It's the cover of the book, but she just goes on a killing spree. Doesn't kill the Reverend, by the way. Don't want to bring that up, or the people that were nice to her, because there were a few that were nice along the way. But she kills everyone else. And this story ends with years later, these people are hiking and they see her in the forest and they're just kind of like, a girl in the forest? Oh my God. And she's like, here, follow me in here. You're going to meet my friend Samson. And it just ends like that. She's now become.
Isn't she feeding them though? Like she I remember she put dinner down. She puts dinner down in front of them. Yeah. And then they're like, oh, you live like this? This is so nice. It was like in a tree, I think.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, my friend's coming over. His name's Samson. And that's how it ends, I believe.
Did you
read the book?
The final picture in this book?
Is that the other picture you wanted to share?
Yeah. Dude, this picture fucking scared me.
I saw all the pictures, but I don't remember.
Well, I just think it's scary because throughout this story, we see Abitha, she promised me she wouldn't kill anyone. And then she became a killer. She became the thing she didn't want to become. And then for the last picture to be what she used to look like.
Oh, she's so pretty.
Dude, this scared the shit out of me.
Oh my God, send me that.
Okay.
Why did it scare you? This is not even the scariest picture here.
Because it's just kind of like the idea of what she's capable of. That scares me. And like how... Oh my God, I don't remember how I took the picture last time. Wait.
You did this top one.
Oh, Queen. I feel like an old person. Okay. It just really gets to me that she became what she became. You know? I just wish that it was different. I just wanted Edward to be alive and for them to have a happy marriage.
But I feel like either way, she would have still had to go through
hardship.
Yes, but also her being... People already thought of her as a witch because of her charms. So I think either way, the ending would have still been the same, even with Edward alive or dead.
That is true.
Because also, she would talk back to Wallace or to her husband. You know, she had an opinion and she wasn't afraid to show her opinion. And during these times, women cannot have an opinion. Dude, girl, I would be killed. I would not fucking survive.
What would have set them off for you? What one opinion that you would have?
You have to marry this man? No, the fuck, I don't.
Man, am I right? That's it. Dude, it fucking sucks though because it was so unfair to women back then. And this is like very Salem witch trials.
Yeah, so this is something that happened.
Yeah.
And it pisses me off.
Dude, I know.
I was going through so much fucking anger reading this, just thinking about, you know, the women who actually did experience this.
Dude, it's funny because I read this last night, NyQuil induced. And I was like so close to falling asleep, but I was like, I need to finish this story. So just imagine I'm tired and I'm angry.
Fueled by your anger.
But I don't know. I think
if you like female rage,
yeah,
this book is for you.
I don't know, because this ending to me, I just wanted more for her. I don't hate the ending at all. It just makes me sad.
Yeah. I was really, really anxious when Slewfoot was discovering himself. You know, he was out of the picture. And she was over here being
accused
of witchcraft, and also when they were throwing shit at her, and I was so nervous for her. So when he came for her, I was like, oh, thank God. Well, well, I mean,
thought it was funny that she named him Samson.
Yeah,
after the goat.
That was funny. I mean, better than Edward.
Yeah.
Dude, I thought we didn't bring this up, but when she was still happily married and he was still alive, and they went to church the first time. Remember when she saw that guy and she was like, "That guy is so sexy. Oh my God, why am I feeling so moist down there?" I was like, "Don't cheat on Edward."
She looks over at Edward. He's praying. I know. I love that man though.
Praying for the both of them.
I love that man though. No, I'm glad that it worked between them. I'm glad that what happened between her and Samson never became romantic.
That's what I was going to ask you. She
loved her husband.
Is it technically romantic though now?
No, I don't think so.
So they're just friends? They're just chill?
They're just cool friends. But it kind of felt like it was going to be romantic.
It did. Why do you think he so desperately wanted to save/help her when he first woke up? It was definitely like violence, you know?
Because that was the first friend that ever made him feel something.
That's so beautiful.
I just think that he really cared for her. You know? Yeah. Best friends.
Well,
you can love your friend. You can kiss your friends. It's not weird. It's just fucking, oh my God. Fucking Edward's ghost. No. Doesn't Edward's ghost pop up at the end? Like with eyes? And he's just like, oh, Abitha.
Does he?
Yeah.
I don't remember that part. I just remember
like,
the fucking holes in his eyes, and I was like, whoa. I'm scared.
I think overall, I really, really like this story. I don't know if I would give it a 5.
The atmosphere in this book, 10 out of 10. They really set the scene so well. And I feel like this story, not to talk down on any religion, but I feel like it really portrayed how sometimes some people can take it really, really far.
It really showed how back then religion was very much ran by misogynistic men. And just like how religion back then was used as a way to control women.
Yeah. I mean, some still are.
Yeah. That being said, I think I would give this story like a solid 4 out of 5.
Really?
I really liked it. I think I would recommend it to someone too.
I'm kind of torn because I don't know if I want to give it a 5.
You can?
Or a 4.5. I don't know. I think about this story often though.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
I'm sorry that you thought I wasn't going to. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of pictures. Whoa.
Ew.
Whoa. Oh my gosh, my stomach. Shut up.
I missed those last pictures. Ew, I don't like them.
That's what she became. Wait, matching pictures with your bestie? Wait, we need to change our profile pictures on Instagram.
No way, because I want to be her.
I'm okay with being Slewfoot.
Oh, okay.
Does he only have one foot? No, it's back there. Wait a minute. Wait, where's Edward? That's not him. That's the mama foot guy. Oh, there it is. Okay, slay.
I didn't understand the fish spirit. I was like, oh, is there just a fish floating around here?
Good for it.
Creek. Loved him.
If you are listening to us in audio form, whether that be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or anywhere you get your podcasts on, thank you so much. If you can please leave a rating of 5 stars because it really helps us with exposure, that would be great. If you want to leave a review and recommend us our next read, that would also be great. We are done with our spooky reads. Please. Please, this is me talking now.
I think we can incorporate more spooky reads throughout the year, but it'll just be like one every now and then.
Because I'm not strong enough. I'm just one girl. If you want to support us and you have a little bit of extra money, what can they do?
So we do have a Patreon, and at the moment it really just serves as a way for our listeners to let us know that you really enjoy our content. You can find us on patreon.com/bookfix. But if you don't want the commitment of monthly, then you can find us on buymeacoffee.com/thebookfix or coffee, which is ko-fi.com/thebookfix. If you are watching us on YouTube, thank you so much. If you can like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because we post every Tuesday and Thursday. We also post bonus episodes, which I think, oh my gosh, I'm going through it, which I think our bonus episodes are going to be bangers. So please follow us on YouTube.
If you want to support us on social media, we have a Fable, a Goodreads, an Instagram, and a Threads at The Book Fix Pod, and a TikTok at The Book Fix. Thank you. So why don't we read reviews about this book?
Okay. What do you want?
I'll do positive. This comes from Mio, who gave it a 5 out of 5, and they just wrote, "We love women getting their revenge." That's it.
Okay. So this review comes from Brianna. They gave it 1 out of 5 and they wrote, "Oh my God, this was just so bad. I'm never reading a female protagonist story written by a male author ever again. The I'm not like other girls because I'm just so stubborn and strong-willed. This town just doesn't get me trope is so tired and dismisses the complexity of the New England witch trials to an ignorant fantasy. There is zero historical fantasy. Oh my God, sorry, I can't speak. There is zero historical accuracy, zero depth, unnecessary characters, cringy dialogue, redundant nudity, absolutely no chemistry between the characters, and insufferably long and useless scenes. The plot, summary, cover art, and character design pieces included in the book were so promising. I just don't get how you can take inspiration from one of America's most fascinating and bizarre historical events and bumble it so bad."
Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
It's like they didn't even see Edward.
It's like they didn't notice that scene where Edward was drawing her like a French girl.
Can I say,
what?
First of all, that's beautiful, because that scene was everything to me.
Scene was everything to me. It was so good. Oh, by the way, we didn't bring up the fact that they found the sketch and were like, "Witch, you were seducing your own husband? How fucking dare you?
If he loves them, I can't stop him.
What do I do? Who else are they here for if not my husband?"
Dude, he fucking loved her.
I know.
Oh,
sorry, what were you gonna say?
I don't even know.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
It's okay, I love it.